Right, I'm going to reassemble it just one sear at a time. Now then, this one, the back one, I've talked to people and there's a lot of people who have a lot of trouble with this one, so I'll show you how I do it. I put the pin in just so it pokes through the back a little bit. Then I need my snipe nose pliers. You'll grab the spacer, place that on the pin like so. Okay, now what we need to do is grab the whole sear and spring, a little bit fiddly, place it where you want it to be. Takes a little bit of, whoops, a little bit of mess with it, I'll get my pen out just a little bit more. There we go. So sear and spring. Hopefully we can line that up. Then you can push the pin through, like so. Okay. Now, this big pin here helps to lock this in place. So that now needs removing. Okay, so I'll just knock that through. Right, so now we can just spin this through, like so. Persuade that to go past this here, like so. And now we've got the tension on the actual sear itself. That's just stuck in a bit of wood. So let's take that out, pop that in again. And just tap that into position, and that's sear number one in place. Okay, bottom sear, two parts. I've just put my pin in the back so that I can still get the sear in there. I'm going to put the first part in to start with, and I've got to line up the hole and just push the pin in just a tiny bit, just to grab that first part. There we go. Now I'm going to put in the second part. Okay, and that's through. Second sear. I find that bottom two parts here the most awkward one. Okay. Okay, the big sear for latching onto the latch rod. You got to remember that that spring needs to fit on top of that pin, but not get caught on this big pin here. So that's where you're aiming to push it through, like so. And then you can just get the big old pin and push it through. Lock it in position. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we can actually almost operate the trigger. Now here is where I use a dart to hold things together. Okay, so push down the top. That's right, shove your dart through that hole there, and that keeps things all nice and unpressured while I put the trigger back in. Now the trigger is just a simple line it up, put in the pin, tap it home, and there we go. Last thing, I get our spring, drop your spring in, follow it in with the trigger pressure screw. bit of pressure. It's important you give the trigger a bit of pressure because these springs all work against each other to give you a safe trigger. So let's just latch it, and now you can see everything works again. So that's your stripping and rebuilding your Rekord.